Obviously, we could talk biscuits all day or
Oh
all
yeah.
night. Yeah, but
Uh, you're British, Mark. I think that's a standard sexy talk is talking about biscuit.
just
What
saying.
biscuits do you
Yeah,
like?
yeah. Want to come back to mine? I've got some custard creams. Yeah. but
You would dare offer such a plain Jane biscuit as a custard
hey,
cream.
hey, hey. I, I would follow someone home for a hobnob. No, no,
Dark
no,
chocolate though, please.
no,
Don't talk to
no,
me
no.
about this is the end of this friendship, I swear to God.
Hello and welcome back to Archaeoscoop. We've just had a very long conversation about all manner of things, which no doubt will be going as a Patreon offering, I think, because it's a bit random. But we are here and we are ready to talk about.
News from archaeology, history, and the cultural sphere.
Yes, yes, of course. It's.
But first, we do have to mention something which we would both be remiss in not
Hmm,
mentioning.
hmm,
And so I always tell Mark that we have to keep this program positive, but we
hmm.
do have a little bit of sad news today. But maybe not as terrible as people think. So unfortunately, the wonderful, legendary Dr. Jane Goodall passed away very peacefully
Hmm.
at the age of 91. And such a legend in her own lifetime. I mean, we've all grown up with her,
Hmm.
her work in zoology, anthropology, and I think her biggest claim to fame, which is very important, and I don't think that people realize how important it is, she was the one who discovered that chimps use tools.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you think nowadays, oh, that's common knowledge, but back when she was beginning her studies, no, it was not common knowledge.
No,
And this
no.
is something that she discovered. And so I just want to read something from her estate. And it says, Dr. Jane Goodall's life and work not only made an indelible mark on our understanding of chimpanzees and other species, but also of humankind and the environments we all share. She inspired curiosity, hope, and compassion in countless people around the world and paved the way for many others, particularly young people who gave her hope for the future.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the list of her achievements is really just immense. I don't think
No.
we can go through all of them, but Mark did a
Hmm.
very lovely video. I did a small tribute, but Mark did a much longer tribute
Hmm.
about her impact, not only on anthropology, but on the world in general.
Yeah, and I think it can't be understated how important that her work is in so many different ways. But I think two of the ways that have been most possibly underappreciated. First of all, I think just public communication. So her
Hmm.
her and David Attenborough really.
Oh, everybody, we have to make protective circle about
Yeah,
around Sir
yeah,
David and
yeah,
and David Suzuki to
yeah,
make protective
yeah.
circles around both of
Yeah,
them.
David Attenborough's going to end up being like the tree in Nottingham that people keep on poking up, not allowing branches to fall off. Um, but no, no, no. In all seriousness, her and Attenborough, in terms of that blend of rigorous work, but also good public communication and inviting and understanding that the invitation to bring the public in on your work is uh, is is and should be at the heart of what you're doing, as opposed to something which is either nice to have or that's an inconvenience. It shouldn't be understated, and but also as well, aside from all of the academic achievement and all of the insight and so on and so forth, just her demeanor. She was
Yeah.
always lovely, and she was always, and that word, and I found myself using that word to describe, broadly speaking. I think last year I was thinking about when I sort of turned 40, I was thinking about what it means to be an archaeologist in general, and I think it applies to her work as well. Is having a genuine, deep love of humanity and people, and that doesn't mean that you're a sucker. It doesn't mean that you're unaware of of our collective problems. But as you just said, the fact that she took hope from young people, and that she applied her work in such a way that people almost felt as though they were talking to their grandma. Like she especially when she got older, when she came on TV, you'd have people uh, just unable to turn away from her because she was just amazing. And yeah, as you say, we've both talked about her in other places as well. But
I do want to mention one of her academic achievements, which is impossible today, which is she got a PhD without having a bachelor's.
mm,
She never had
okay,
a bachelor's degree, and
wow,
she was allowed to do a PhD
yeah,
in her
okay,
field because she was so brilliant.
yeah, no, yeah, it can't be understated. So, as you say, hold the line and wrap around maybe a duvet or something around David Attenborough, a Zorb or something. Just like just
Yeah.
this week, I do believe I am set to go first on news stories. So I'm going to start with an interesting one that I spotted just a couple of days ago. This is the headline: "Book inspiring Shakespeare potions goes on display," and
Ooh,
it's
how much?
uh, it's not clear. It's not clear.
Oh,
It may well become clear in the course of my reading, but the photo is quite funny actually. When you look at the photo, librarian Anthony Ram doesn't look entirely happy to be holding this book. He looks, I'm
is the
sure.
book, it says Book of Potions. Is the book itself poisonous in some
No,
way?
no, no. Well, what's fascinating is it's a gardening book.
Hmm.
So it's a book that's thought to have inspired potions in some of William Shakespeare's most famous works, has gone on display. A new Leeds Central Library exhibition called Unearthed, The Power of Gardening features illustrated guides and manuals dating back more than 500 years. Books on display include the Herbal or General History of Plants,
Is
written
that Nicholas Culpeper?
John Gerard.
Okay.
Elizabethan herbalist. Um,
Okay.
the illustrated book is believed to have inspired the playwright, Shakespeare, that is, when he devised concoctions for Romeo and Juliet and A Midsummer Night's Dream. The free exhibition, which runs until the 29th of October, includes manuals on the best ways to grow fruit and vegetables, colourful flowers, and herb patches. Leeds Central Library's Special Collections librarian, Anthony Ram, said gardening had the power to bring people together and shape the world around them. Gardening is one of those rare and wonderful common threads through history which has inspired so much dedication, passion, and joy for people from all walks of life, he said. The centuries of accumulated wisdom that have gone on display that we have on display also captures that impulse which generations of gardeners have to pass on their knowledge and to encourage others to create beautiful gardens of their own. Another of the books on display is Batty Langley's, I love that name, Batty Langley, Batty Langley's New Principles of Gardening from 1728, which includes instructions and diagrams on designing geometric gardens, which makes me think of Pythagoras, Pythagoras, and the idea that he's just obsessed with triangles. Is that Red Dwarf? Is it?
You're all that's left, just a smattering of intellectuals, pacifists, and celebrities?
We number less than 20.
If only we numbered 21, then at least we could form an equilateral triangle.
Will you shut up already with the triangles? Everything is triangles. You're driving me crazy.
Geometric gardens, as well as books. The exhibition features The Speaking Garden, a multimedia installation inspired by the library's collection, and The Gardeners of Leeds. So, yeah, up until the end of the month, well worth a visit.
Which brings me to the subject of smoked meat, which I know a lot about, and specifically the world's oldest evidence of mummification found. Mark, what does this have to do with smoked meat? Let's find out. Mummification was...
The thing is, you can't just do that to me. I was thinking, oh, salami, and then you went mummification, and I was like, oh, cannibalism, no. And then you asked me a
No,
question.
no,
So,
no cannibalism, no
okay,
cannibalism.
okay.
So what does smoked meat have to do with the world's oldest evidence of mummification?
What is it? Is it because the mummification occurred due to similar processes that go into a smokehouse?
Yes, the
Okay, right.
smoked bones. So mummification was practiced by various cultures across
Okay.
the world, at different times, perhaps most famously by Egyptians, but according to a statement released by the Australian National University, a groundbreaking new study recently revealed this behavior dates back thousands of years earlier than previously thought to a somewhat surprising place, southern China and Southeast Asia. Hunter-gatherers in this part of the world often bury their dead in a tightly compact, crouching position. The bodies are typically found well preserved, but display no signs, no visible signs of mummification. However, an international team of researchers recently analyzed 54 burials of these types from 11 archaeological sites across southern China, Vietnam, Indonesia, and other places nearby. Why they don't name those places, I don't know. Experts determined that the bodies of the deceased individual had been suspended over a smoky fire for long periods of time. Isn't that nice? It's so nice to become smoke meat when you die. I'd love that. Which dried out and essentially I mean, this sounds like a great day out. Smoky fire for long periods of time, which dried out and essentially mummified the remains while leaving very little evidence of the process. I mean, if you just slap some meat rub on there, you're good to go.
Yeah,
The
some dry
earliest
rub.
examples, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Put some Montreal spice on there. You're tasty. The
Some
earliest
vinegar.
examples of this practice date back more than 12,000 years, 5,000 years older than the mummified persons of South America's Chinchorro culture, once thought to be the world's oldest. This type of smoke drying is, so far, the oldest demonstrated method of intentional preservation of corpses that we have on record anywhere in the world, said Professor Emeritus Peter Bellwood. There you go.
Yeah, that's really good. And it's interesting, isn't it? These always lead to questions of the inevitable, who did it first?
I thought you were going to say the inevitable. Was it tasty?
Yeah, what does it taste like? Can you lick it?
Yes, you can lick the ancient bog butter. You can lick you can lick the old cheese.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
You can lick anything. What happens next is a different question. But that question of who noticed this? Who spotted that this is a good idea? Because presumably just dangling the dead over a fire, it's a thing to do.
It's a bit gruesome, yeah.
Yeah. But I just sort of it's one of those things where I wonder whether it's experiential, in so much as we've all been on the wrong side of a campfire, and just being wafted in the face with the smoke. You go, oh, and maybe you just get a sense of, okay, this might.
Your life flashes before your eyes. You go, ooh, I'd like to be dried meat at the end.
Quick, get me Bob. Bob's gran. She died, didn't she? Bring
Face
it.
me.
Yeah. No, but maybe it gives you like an intuitive sense that it will arrest processes that occur after death that begin, rotting, etc. Or this'll get or simply that it'll just dry, as you say, dry the body out, or whether it's not so much experiential but perhaps accidental, perhaps an observation that actually there was perhaps an animal carcass over there. The prevailing wind has been smoking it for a while, and it just hasn't rotted.
You can imagine them smoking some kind of bison over a fire and go, do you know what?
But well, that's the other question as well. Actually, could it be necessity? Could it be a case of of actually, okay, we've still got a ways to go. Billy Bob has just dropped dead.
We don't want the maggots to get him.
We don't want the maggots to
get
him,
well.
and we do know that the bison actually last longer when we smoke them. Let's just give it a go. But it's those processes that I'm always fascinated by, but also they are utterly beyond the touch of archaeology. You can't touch them. They're the.
I don't know, Mark. I would put it into my articles. Say if I suddenly drop dead and people wanted to use my body for science, you have my permission to base meat, smoke me over fire. That'd be great.
But turning up at the airport,
you could also have a nibble if you were curious. I would not mind.
It's like, human flesh. But also, just imagine the airport conversation would be hilarious. I have this YouTube video. Excuse me. You will relinquish the body. No,
I do though. Actually, I promised my friend Marissa. Hello, Marissa. I promised my friend Marissa that if she wanted to, because she's always wanted to do. She is a goth, and she was actually studying to be a mortician, and she is always. But she does amazing photography. still life photography, and she's always wanted to do for really real still life photography.
Right.
But obviously
Yes.
it's illegal and you can't. So
No.
I said, I give you my permission that before you smoke me over the fire, Mark, let Marissa take some nice photos. Let her make me look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let her take some photos, and then you can baste me
Can
and
can
put me in the mustard.
in this hypothetical, can we also do some ghost photography? So
Oh
maybe,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that'd be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put in the fairies in there as well while you're at it.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
dump them in.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of glamorous photography, my second news article of the week is it's an interesting thought experiment at the very least. The British Museum, according to The Independent, is set to hold an inaugural fundraising ball with a Met Gala ambition. I don't know about you, but it always feels as though the Met Gala comes around every 2 months. It might
No,
just,
it's only once a year.
I know, but it might just be my YouTube algorithm. But I'm
I
constantly
think it's that.
being bombarded with people doing analysis of costumes and clothes. Um,
That's a
and
good algorithm to have. The costumes are
it
always the best. It's the art of the costumes is always the
yeah,
best part.
it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Lots of very camp people, giving you all sorts of hot takes. And in this instance, I'm sure you get a lot of similar hot takes occurring outside the BM. The invite-only event will look to celebrate London's status as one of the world's leading cultural capitals. Don't laugh. The British Museum is to hold an inaugural fundraising ball that could look to rival the Met Gala in New York. The
I
London
wasn't going to, and then you just set me off.
Vinegar. The London event is invite only, much like the Met Gala, known as fashion's biggest night, where celebrities reportedly pay $75,000, that's £56,000 for those of you who are curious, for a ticket. A spokesperson told the PA news agency the British Museum will hold its inaugural fundraising ball on 18th of October. So it's happening this month. Wow. The
That's the
invite.
fundraising ball, not the Met Gala. The Met Gala
Oh,
happens in the spring. The fundraising
yes.
ball happened.
Uh, the invite only
For
event.
just so people know, the Met Gala is a fundraiser in itself for the museum.
Yes.
It is not a billionaires organization. It is for the museum.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, the invite-only event will celebrate London's status as one of the world's leading cultural capitals, whilst
Don't
also
laugh.
don't laugh. Um, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Whilst also raising vital funds to support British Museum's international partnerships. Apparently, Helen Brocklebank, the chief executive of the official
Great name.
sector body for British luxury, Walpole, is on a committee organising the event. In the social media post, she said, "I had a committee meeting for the British Museum Ball, think Met Gala ambition with UK uniqueness."
How many baked beans is there in there?
How many baked beans? How many gap teeth? Apparently,
How many summits?
yeah. How many? Next year, the British Museum. Next year, the British Museum will display the Bear Tapestry, which depicts the 1066 Norman invasion of the Battle of Hastings. The
With
artifact,
94, is it 94 penises now instead of 93?
yeah, supposedly. The artifact. Oh yes, because it could be a ball bag, couldn't it? Not a. No. That's not the word. What's it called? The,
A baldric?
no. It's like a purse. I'm not describing a scrotum here. It's a it's like a purse and it dangles. Then we talked about it in a previous episode.
Yeah, we did when we
Yeah.
talked about the new discovery of the new member. Yes.
Yeah, new member to the club. The museum is also engaged in research projects with partners across the globe, including an archaeological excavation at Benin City. That's bold. Nigeria, in collaboration with the Museum of West African Art. Part funded by the Department of Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS, the museum also finds financial support through other channels, including working with, and thankfully they do mention here, I'm glad, 2 years ago it extended its partnership with the oil giant BP by another decade. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Wait, now Mark has to put the BP South Park.
Hello, I'm Tony Hayward, President and CEO of BP. Our accidental drilling spill again in the Gulf is a tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
After striking a £50 million deal to help fund renovation plans. Okay. But the real question here, there's some more about this inaugural ball to read. I mean, I suppose just very finally, the museum said the money from the 10-year deal with BP will be used to redevelop the Bloomsbury site in central London for generations to come. But the ball will be announced shortly, apparently. But really, the big question is, what would you wear to the ball?
Oh, it's got to be, I want. So Lady Gaga showed up one year. I think it was the year where the theme was, first of all, you have to know what the theme is. Second of all, like the campier, the better. And the year that the theme was camp, my girl, Lady Gaga, showed up wearing 3 outfits in one. And she changed into all these outfits as she went down the stairs. So I would pick something like that where it would be reversible, or it'd be something that you could change or flip. Or I would have a twice-turned dress or something like that, where you could flip it inside out and it would be a completely different outfit.
Okay.
Definitely something gothic, but again, you have to check the theme, so it depends what the theme is.
You see, I unfortunately, I went straight to blocky costumes. So I wasn't thinking elegant.
Like, Mark's just going to show up as Blobby.
How British would that be? Just I'm just like,
yes,
really, yeah. Falling down
Blobby
the
holding a pudding.
No, but I was thinking,
You're gonna be calling the caterpillar. Just go like this down the stairs.
That could be interesting, yeah. Or there's a snail. Someone used to be on a very particular TV show. If I can find a clip, I'll put it up. A snail. They'd walk up to a crossing, and then lie on the floor with the snail shell in the back, and then just crawl
amazing!
across.
I love it.
And then they get up and walk away, and obviously the drivers loved that. No,
Fantastic.
but I was thinking blocky costumes. So initially, my thought was I could
Minecraft?
go. No. I could go as a part of the frieze of the Parthenon marbles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then have
That's a good one.
my plus one or my assistant or whatever. Because obviously, if I'm paying £56,000 to go there, I've got an assistant. Have
Somebody to steal you away and bring you to the British Museum. Oh,
better than that, because also I'm already at the British Museum. I'm already there.
that's true.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
So what would happen is they go, whoop, and it's a transforming costume. Whoop, unzip me, and underneath is just the most sort of Union Jack. Basically, just underneath is surprise colonialism. So.
Surprise colonialism, and then leave.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you have to do the Cockney wink all the way down the stairs. And just keep going.
You won't find a soul. Jimmy the Lambo book. Oh, but I just love the idea of sort of going in, and all you'd see is my face, in this block of this frieze, and then just suddenly, and it just sort of collapses around me, and there I am, colonialism incarnate. The other thought I had, and I had 2 thoughts in mind, so I wasn't sure if you might have thought of that one. The other thought I had was one could go as again, I went blocky, Rosetta Stone.
Oh, that's a good one.
And your assistant is chasing you with a magnifying glass, attempting to translate how
You could have one person do, or you could have like a 3-person thing where one person, instead of like 3 goblins in a trench coat, you have 3 people as the 3 different parts of the Rosetta Stone,
Nice. Yeah.
and
Very good.
each speaking the 3 different languages that are on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That would be good. That would be good. Yeah. And then have a fourth person, I guess, come running after you, just as Napoleon. No. We took that. Like, bring it back.
No, then I would dress as the Sphinx with a nose and go, "You didn't shoot it off.
Yeah.
It was gone long before you."
There's so many possibilities.
See, if they actually did that, where you would have to come as your favorite artifact,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. I would seriously just come as maybe Nefertiti's head. Like my whole body would be her head. That'd be amazing. You just walk down hobble down the stairs like that.
Yeah. But also you'd have to, just for the sheer badness of it, get to the top of the stairs and then fall. And then because you're in like a Zorb, basically, you just sort of roll to the bottom. And people are like, oh no, trying to help you up.
You could see, if we were going there, I would come as like King Tut's clubfoot.
Oh.
And just be like the clubfoot from like Monty Python. I know that's a different foot.
Yeah.
But I would love to pick some really obscure artifact.
Yes.
And then dress up as that. That would be great.
Which actually, and to be fair, that's the classy historian archaeological thing to wear, isn't it? That's the
John Dee's scrying mirror, which may or may not have belonged to John Dee. Just walk around as a giant big black circle reflecting everything.
ruining all the photos. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The more flash, the worse it gets. Yeah. But also another one could be good would be going as a moai. You could go as an Easter Island statue.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Like the moai from Mario Odyssey, where every time you stop, the sunglasses go down.
Yeah.
And then it pops up and everything.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, that comes to my next story, which is you could go as a Pictish face, Mark, because archaeology students have unearthed a rare carving that might show a Pictish face. Archaeology students came face to face with Scotland's past when she unearthed what may be an incredibly rare depiction of an ancient remember.
So an incredibly rare what? Sorry.
Depiction of an ancient Pict.
Incredibly rare what?
Oh no, Mark! No! No!
I made the pun. I made you make it. So go on.
It's all right. We escaped last week without one, so I'll let you have that one, Mark. Jodie Allen was a volunteer on a dig in East Lomond Hill Fort in Fife when she spotted what she initially thought was a piece of slag. We're talking about the ore, not the ore runoff, not the person, while sieving soil. But on closer inspection, it turned out to be an incredibly rare schematic carving, which experts say could be a human face and possibly a member of the Pictish kingdom, which once covered the area. The hill fort and surrounding settlement are located in what is thought to have been the southernmost part of the Pictish kingdom, which ruled a large part of northeastern Scotland. Professor Gordon Noble, the University of Aberdeen, and Joe Fitzpatrick of Falkland Stewardship Trust have been co-leading excavation work at the site for the past 4 years. The major hill fort and settlement has been the focus of a joint university and community project run by the Falkland Stewardship Trust and the University of Aberdeen from 2022 onward, building on earlier Heritage Lottery funded excavations. Miss Allen is a student at the University of Aberdeen, well done, and said she initially did not think much of it when she spotted an object of around 10 to 12 centimeters in her sieve. She said, I had no idea it was holding anything significant, but I took a closer look because of its size and because of the color. A sort of oxidized coppery green. It's not the Green Man. Don't even, no.
Nope.
No. Because if you actually see the picture of what she's holding, it does look like 2 eye holes. But it's not, nope.
Nope.
It's not a foliate head. No. I showed it to Professor Noble, who took one look at the stone, and his reaction told me it was something special with what appears to be a carved face on it. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool, and it's another one of those stories of this may well be the find of their career, and they'll never find anything interesting ever again.
Great, Mark. That's so hopeful. Amazing.
No,
well, because we passed Hobbit Day, the special story, the bonus story of the week is rare first edition copy of The Hobbit found in English home sells for almost $60,000.
Okay.
Experts found the volume while appraising the items in a home in Bristol, England. Not, Mark, you should go down there. Only a few hundred copies are thought to have survived, and it's really amazing. The picture is really incredible. A pristine copy of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit sold for roughly 57,000. It says dollars, but I'm not sure if it's pounds because it says in England, but we'll go with what the article says, dollars. The volume is a rare first edition copy illustrated by the author. Staffers at the Bath auction house,
Yeah.
Bath,
Bath.
discovered the book while sorting through the belongings of the recently deceased homeowner in Bristol. As Caitlin Riley, the auction house's book specialist, says in a statement, she was rifling through run-of-the-mill bookcase. Oh, how dare she! When she came across a pale green cover decorated with mountains and a dragon. It was clearly an early Hobbit at first glance, so I pulled it out and began to flick through it, never expecting it to be a true first edition. There you go. So when The Hobbit was published in 1937, only 1,500 copies were printed.
Yeah.
These books were covered in blue and green dust jackets designed by Tolkien himself, which depicted the eagle soaring over the mountains and the forest. First editions also featured 10 black and white illustrations by the author. And there you go. So I thought that was since we passed Hobbit Day. Mark, what is Hobbit Day celebrating?
Potatoes.
Yes, but also
Feet.
so yes, but also Hobbit Day is not Durin's Day, which is the first day of autumn in the dwarf calendar, but Hobbit Day is the birth of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins, which is on the
Oh. That.
uh-oh, angry
can't-
archaeology noises.
Tell me.
So Hobbit Day is on the 22nd of September,
of course,
but
of course
is
it
that really Bilbo and Frodo's birthday?
Oh.
Because the Shire reckoning is different than
Yes.
Kingdom reckoning.
Yeah.
So technically, it's really not
No.
Bilbo and Frodo's birthday, because the Hobbit calendar or the Shire calendar is a few days off, and their birthday should be about a week before. And but in the 1970s, the American Tolkien Society chose this day to be Hobbit Day. So it's not technically really their birthdays,
So it's-
but
But what like, is that because the Gregorian calendar is supposed to be Kingdom, not Hobbit?
yeah, I think so.
Aligned.
And
Right.
yeah, and so yeah, that's why they always make a very specific point of him saying Shire reckoning, because by Shire reckoning, the calendar is a little bit different.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. 11T. What a word. What a word. What do you think that's sort of the prerogative of? Because we talked about Shakespeare in this episode as well,
Yeah.
famously making up words. Is that the prerogative of an author? Are you allowed to discover a word and make, in that sense?
Anybody is allowed to. Words come from everywhere and everywhere. Anybody is allowed to make up a word. People do it all the time. Slang words so for example, words like groovy or cool, in the context that we use them today, they're slang terms that were made up a long, long time ago, and they are not used in there. I talked a lot with Dr. Smitty Nathan about the word like, and how the word like used to mean body in Old English, and so too it still has this very similar meaning in other Germanic languages, but not in English. So think of the word lich, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And we don't use that word like in the same way now, and people even use it as a quotative. They use it as a way to say that something is like something else, a roguelike, etc. But words change and shift all the time. People make up new words all the time. You can make up as long as it makes sense in context, and two people who are using this word understand what it means. It is a word. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, lots of people make up words. Charles Dickens made up the word boredom, which we use quite a lot. Obviously, Shakespeare made up a lot of words. He didn't make up certain things that people attribute to him, which were already around at the time. But he was the one to popularize certain things. And it's the same thing with any author that uses a word or makes up a word. There's nothing wrong with that. because that is the natural function of language, my sons. So
No,
as
yeah,
much
yeah.
as we all have words we don't like, as much as we all have words, "Oh, that's not a word because it's not in the dictionary." Well, there's lots of words that we use that are not in the dictionary because they get taken out of the dictionary
Mm,
sometimes. So
yeah, taken out
di di
and taken to a
dictionaries
farm.
cannot keep up with language because language is in a constant state of flux. It is always moving.
Well, that's a conversation for another day, without a doubt.
No, it's not. I'm right.
No. I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is like the implications of
A
that.
few hours later.
Yeah, exactly. If you, yeah, yeah.
Cue,
Grand.
cue when Mark said, "Let's do a shot for if I'm right," and then I said, "You're gonna have to delete that immediately."
Exactly. Uh, Finally, in terms of screenshots and stuff, and the way that we've used graphics on this show so far, folks at home, you may be interested to know that we have been building up a wee library especially on the Tenor GIF library of animated GIFs. And if you search Archaeoscoop, there's a little collection so far that are there. The one that I actually really quite like, and surprisingly Michelle hasn't given me too much grief over, is the I'm all for a Roman archaeology. I love it. I'm all for it. So yes, check him out. There'll be more going up as the days and weeks continue, and also as well, obviously, as we come up with new words ourselves on this very show. So,
I've actually made my phone allows for having GIFs when you have an alarm.
Mhm.
The screen turns on and there's a GIF that plays, and so it's the one that Mark made of me as a Simpsons character beating up the Green Man on the
Yeah.
floor.
And the thing I love about that one is it's subtle, and I'm sure you've noticed, but the Hamburglar is placing a Green Man mask
Yeah.
on the wall, and then I couldn't resist when it cuts to the other angle. It's just there on the wall. So it's we have a lot of fun with them, and hopefully you guys can have fun sharing them as well in your internet day to day. Until next time, do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Do let us know if there's any stories that you wanted to examine in a future episode. But yeah, it's been grand. Bye bye.